All right. Good morning. Good morning. This is Dr. King. I am coming to you from 800 Link, resident professional. And today we are going to be discussing mastering time management for college students. Mastering time management early in college is a godsend and needs to be done. Um, the first issue with time management is that most people think, and I say this because I've been a professor for 10, almost 12 years. And the one problem that I have with my students over anything else, even over them not getting assignments in on time, because they do not master their time. We all have the same 24 hours a day. We all have the same 7 days a week. We all have the same weeks. We all have the same years, to do everything that we need to do. The one thing that we do not all do is efficiently utilize our time. So the problem is that we don't have a grand understanding of time mastery. We just don't. And so, people like myself who are advocates and practice time management, I am here to give you and provide you with some information, especially if you are a college student. But this helps anybody in life on how to effectively master your time to be effective in college and efficient in life. So, why do we need to master our time? Number one, it's because it allows us to schedule everything that we need to get done. You have to go to work, you have to, have a kids game you want to attend, you want to go out with your friends, anything you want to go on a date, anything you need to master your time. And it's funny because we see people that have their planners and their schedules and everything, and the first thing they want to say, they just a nerd. That could be, but guess what? They know how to efficiently manage their time as well. So it's not a bad thing to be intelligent. Okay. So it allows you to schedule time for everything that you need to do. It also allows you to make efficient use of that time. So this is where it helps college students, because with college students, you have to go to class. Sometimes you have to go to work. You want to spend time with your friends. You have to find time to study, do assignments, do projects, come home and all that type of stuff. So the thing is, it allows you, when you master and start to efficiently master your time, it allows you to make efficient use of your time. Also, it helps with not becoming overwhelmed. Like I said, a lot of times the problems that my students have is that they become overwhelmed, especially if you're going to school online. The pandemic has done nothing else. It has shown people just how inefficient that we are as a society, and how we manage our time, and how we properly learn and things of that. And that's a whole nother presentation. I'm not going to get into learning skills. I have already done a presentation on that. I can post, my YouTube link, and you guys can go back to that. I posted a whole presentation on effective learning. But today we're talking about time management. So managing your time allows you to effectively use your time and make it more efficient. And then it allows you to be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. Like I said, when you're in college, what you have to worry about is work. You have to worry about getting to class, getting up, especially depending on what size university or college that you attend. Your dorm room might be on one end of the campus, but your first class of the day may be on the other end. So what time do you have to get up and get dressed and eat breakfast and get yourself presentable, get out their dorm room and get across campus to get to your class? All of that stuff has to be scheduled. It has to be scheduled. You don't want to be the person walking in the class late all the time. That stuff has to be scheduled. And so, even work, maybe you work on campus, so you got to be able to know how far is that walk from my dorm to the work study, or if I have a car and can drive, how fast can I drive from my dorm to where I have to work? Those are things that you want to know. And we'll talk about how you can, how do you do that later. Right now, we're just talking about the whys of time management. Um, Prepares you for adulthood. Kids think these kids think that just because they graduated high school that they are now adults, they can do what they want to do and everything is going to be hunky dory. They learn fast enough that no, I may not want to be an adult anymore. I want to go back to being a kid, and at that point, it's too late. So it teaches you life skills. The one life skill that you want to master is time management, to do everything that you need to do, whether it's you or you and a husband, or you and a husband and kids. You still can be able to do everything that you need to do if you master your time. And then it gives you an outlook on what do you have planned for a time period to be able to do efficient planning. So say you want to know what you're going to be doing from one Sunday to the next Sunday. What classes am I going to? Where am I going to be at any certain time? More importantly, it's what days am I not doing something. When you master your time really well, you find out what days and times that you have free. And for most college students, that's what they want to know, because they want to know, when can they just do nothing? When can they hang out with their friends? When can they go home? When can I go to the mall? When I got, when can I go party with my friends? That's really what time management is about at the college level. Is yes, you want to make sure you get to class and everything on time, but these kids want to know, what days am I free? And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, so there are legitimate reasons as to why time management is necessary. But like I said, more importantly, for not college, where they want to know where the free time is, but in life, you want to know what you're doing at any given point in time. And we'll talk about, once again, how do you figure that out in just a little bit. But it's the how. How do you master your time effectively? So there are different ways of time management. For those that can just think about it in their head, woo, wonderful. Average person cannot. So you're going to need something like a calendar, a planner, online planner. There are planner apps. You have online fillable calendars, where you just print the calendar off with the month and the days with the little squares that you can write in. You can use those. You can go to Office Depot, Amazon, whatever, order you one of the big planners. You go into a teacher's classroom, or you go into somebody's office, and they may have them on a desk. It's a huge calendar, like a desk calendar or a wall calendar with the spaces that you can fill in. They have the ones that, you can dry erase boards. You can make them, put the lines on there, the days and the lines for the weeks and the months or whatever, fill them in every month, and, write them in with a dry erase marker. There are so many different types of schedule systems that you can use. You just have to figure out the one that works for you. Myself, I am partial to using my iPhone calendar, my iCal, on my phone, because it gives me alerts. I also link it to any other calendars that I may have. Like, I may have a calendar. I have a calendar for my basketball program. I have a calendar for um, for just about everything that I do. There's a calendar for my daughter's events. There's a calendar for basketball events. There's a calendar for work. There's a calendar. I have different calendars, and I all link them into my iCal. And so I get notifications. I always set things up, and we'll get to that. But I have it set up to where it gives me, notifications well within time, to know that I got something coming up, and then I have a second alert that pops up within a certain time frame before it actually starts. So that's what I prefer to use. But in the past, I've used one of the handwritten journals. You can go to the card stores. What if they have Hallmark and all of these different bookstores that you can go to when you go over in the little journaling area, and you can get you a calendar that was in a nice little foldable leather, little snap enclosure, and you can just open it up and you fill the months in. You had little areas for business cards and credit cards and all of that. They still make those things. It's just that now we've become so efficient with technology that there's no need to buy them, unless you being like, I'm a tactile person. So that would be something I probably wouldn't go to the store and find it now, because like I said, I use my iCal. But if I go into a store and see one, if I don't get it, I'm going to think twice about it, and I'm going to sit there and look through it, and I'm just like, do I really need this? It's because some people just have to have something in their hands. You see, right now, I'm holding my list. This is my list right here of my notes that I'm talking to you guys about. So whatever works for you is what you need to use. If you can just put one on your board in your dorm room and get a pen or a pencil. I suggest using a pencil, so you can erase and do what you need to do. Pens and things make things, look raggedy. Or get you a dry erase board, and line it up with some cute little colored tape or whatever. Do however you need to do. Whatever works for you, use it. You can fill it in, and remember things, and block out time, all of that type of stuff. That's the basic, the simple version. But now we have complex schedules and complex planners, and these things, you can go online and find them. Just, they're not called complex. Just basically Google time management schedule. That's what they are, but they're a little complex than a regular calendar. What these are, they are they look like forms, and they're not a calendar, it's a form. And down the form on one side you have times. It can be anywhere from 5 minute increments, 10 minute increments, or half time, half hour increments. And then across the top it has the day of the week. What you do is you take these schedules and you go in and you block off all the time that where you are required to do things. So like say you have to be at work from 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. So Monday through Friday you go in and you block out 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Block all of those out. You also block out what time do you get up that morning. How long does it take you to get up, get dressed, eat breakfast, and get out the house? So if that, if you have to be at work at 9, so say you may get up at 7, 6:37, maybe 7:30. So from 7:30 to say maybe 8, 8:15, you're getting ready for work. Well, guess what? You block that off. Let's say 7 to 8:15 every morning, Monday through Friday. You block that time frame off to show that that time's not available. Then drive time. So if once again, you got to get up, get dressed, eat breakfast, drive, do what you have to do. So now you're looking at, not only did you block 9 to 5 off, now you're having to block from 7 to 5 o'clock off, and block that whole time. And the reason that you're doing that is with the time management schedule, you're trying to find time that is open. Say you have to get your child to, violin practice or piano practice or some type of sport practice. Well, you go in and you block those days off. Say they have practice on Monday from 5 to 6. Well, every Monday you block out 5 to 6 sports practice. And you write down what it is. So you block off that 7 to 5. That's work and drive time. 5 to 6, child has to be at practice. You're blocking out these times. And then once you go in and you block off all the things that are required of you to do and things that are already planned, you'll be able to see the little gaps in time where you have nothing to do. This helps when you're in college, when you have to find time to study. And what happens there is when you figure out what your constant, and your constant is, these are things that you do regularly every day. When you figure that out, then you go in and you put in your class times. So let's take out the whole working from 9 to 5. Let's just get rid of that. Let's talk about college. You take that time management schedule, you put in all of your classes. And if you look, in some universities actually have what they call a schedule planner that will actually show you on, and what I'm talking about, a time management schedule. If you've ever used a schedule planner to help you online at your college or university to figure out, make sure that you don't have overlapping classes or anything, sometimes they will give you a schedule where it has the days across the top and the times down here, and you see your classes, they're like blocked down. These are the times you're in class. That is the same thing. It's the same thing. It shows you where you are and what time do you have free. So those free times, you'll be able to go in there and say, okay, from this time to this time I'm available. I can study something. I can work on a paper. I can go do some research. I can work on a project. So where you are. If you have work study, you'll be able to go in and say, okay, I can work on this day and this day and this day at these times because I'm not in class and I don't have anything to do. I can practice study, I can schedule out study time and things like that somewhere else. So use those schedules. If you're the university or college that you go to, if they use a schedule planner to aid you into scheduling your classes and getting enrolled in your classes, make sure that once you go in and validate, because for my daughter, like I said, my daughter's going to UT Dallas. So when they did their schedule planner, it had you pick your classes. And then it shows you a schedule based on your classes, the times that you need, what works best for you. Well, then there's also a button that you click that says validate. Well, if you click validate will then go in there and show you, hey, you may have to change this class because you're already in a class at this time. And this class is overlapping with that class. So you can't be in both at the same time. Well, once you get all of that verified and get it validated and get it clear and say, hey, this is perfect, go ahead and enroll. This schedule is absolutely perfect for you. You can find the spots in that calendar, that time management schedule, where you are available, where you can schedule your work study time, where you can schedule time to go to the library, schedule time to study, schedule time to do your assessments. Assessments are just any type of homework, projects, anything like that. Time to hang out with your friends. You have to have some downtime, but these schedules and these things are only efficient and only work if you take them seriously. Don't take all the time and don't spend all of the time going in filling all these things in, and then you don't use it, because that was just a waste of some time that you could have been doing something else. So if you're going to use the time management schedule, or you're going to use the basic calendars where you fill things in, it doesn't matter which one you use. The point is they are both the same. They're both designed to help you make efficient use of your time and show you where you have free time. But I'm just going through trying to make sure I went over everything, and I did. But like I said, at the college level with the schedules, yes, you want to map everything out, but for the most part, what you're looking for is time to study. The earlier that you can master your time in college, the less underwhelmed or less overwhelmed. Not that you necessarily want to be underwhelmed, but you definitely don't want to be overwhelmed. So, how does having a time management schedule help you? Doesn't matter which one you use. It's a sense of control. You have a sense of control about yourself and relaxation about yourself when you can look at your schedule and say, I already know what I'm doing for the week. I can look on there. If somebody asks you, hey, let's go to lunch on Wednesday, let me check my schedule and make sure I'm available. That it gives you a sense of control of your time. And I say sense of control because we're never fully in control of anything, and anything can happen. You can map everything out and there will still be something that may come and blindside you. You can get into an accident, or something can happen on campus. Anything can happen, but the point is your time is mapped out. So even if something does come out of the woodworks and blindsides you, it doesn't really stress you out, because you already know that whatever has happened, it's not going to affect anything else that detrimentally to where it causes you to just completely, you know, crash, or have a tantrum, or whatever. So it gives you a sense of control that leads to less stress. You don't want to be stressed out every day. Trying to be, being stressed out at college is awful. If, for lack of a better word, it's awful, because you start to react. You want to be proactive, not reactive when you're doing things. And I talk about being proactive all the time. Having a time management schedule of any kind allows you to be proactive in how you go about your day and how you efficiently spend your time. Little caveat: people always say, they want to have money, when you're young, and at the college level and growing up, people want to get the money, want to get the cars, want to get the houses, want to get the clothes, want to get the shoes. All of this is good until you reach a certain point and you realize you're running out of time. And when I'm saying time, I mean you're on the downslope of your life and you can't buy time. You can't go out there, and there is nowhere you can go that you can pay for time. So make sure that you are making efficient use of your time. Things and material things and all that, that's to impress others. What you want is to use your lifetime efficiently. And when you are at college, that's one of the best times to make efficient use of becoming an adult, mastering a life skill of time management, making sure you're getting to class on time, making sure that you can do your homework, making sure that if you have a job that you get to work on time, making sure that you do everything, spend time with your friends. If you have a significant other, spend time with them. That's what time management allows you to do. Material things aside, what you cannot go anywhere and buy is time. Okay, so master your time. Also, having mastering your time allows you to get everything done that you need to do. We've been talking about this for the last 19 minutes. It allows you to see where you have time to be able to do everything that you need to do 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 4 weeks out of a month, 12 months out of a year, 365 days. Okay, master your time. Also, the result is being successful in obtaining your degree. That's the whole point of going to college, is to get a degree. Yes, you want to learn. You got to learn about yourself. If you're doing everything you're supposed to do when you're in college, you're going to learn about yourself. You're going to learn, who you are away from mom and dad, who you are away from the family. You're going to learn to be grown. You think you're grown. You're going to learn to be grown when you're in college, because you become self-sufficient. Okay. Doesn't mean that mom and dad's not going to be there, brothers and sisters not going to be there, grandma and grandpa, aunts, uncles. It doesn't mean they're not there, but you learn to become self-sufficient. You are now the star in your life where mom and dad are now the co-stars. Okay. So it gives you a sense of control, less stress. You can do everything that you need to do. And all of that, if you do it correctly, will result in you earning your degree. You don't want to be a career college student. There is nothing wrong with learning. I am a lifetime learner. I am. But I also have 4 degrees. Let those degrees lead to, let that learning lead to something. Certifications. I have so many certifications. I have so many licenses. I have all of that stuff. I'm just not learning, taking classes, and they're not resulting in something. So be a lifelong learner, but make sure that as a lifelong learner that you are getting something out of it. Don't just go to college for 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 years and you have nothing to show for it. And when I say nothing, no type of degree. Okay. Be a lifetime learner, but manage your time to where these, the things that you do result in a degree. And all of this is an important life skill. When you learn to master your time and learn to do everything that you need to do, you will become a master of your life's time. Not just time, but your life's time. And that means that you are able to accomplish things. You can schedule things. You can take those vacations. You can, go when you need to do. I am blessed that where I have been able to schedule the time in my life where I can do everything that I need to do. I can work for TI Communities and do these wonderful presentations. I can be wherever my daughter needs me to be, she needs me to be. I can be wherever I want to be when I need to be. I can run my basketball program. I can be a notary. I can do everything that I need to do because I master my time efficiently. I do. I take the extra special steps. You sacrifice up front, and on the long end, you'll be able to reap the rewards of that sacrifice. And it sounds crazy, and people tell you, you live for today. That is true. You live for today. However, when you live for today, you don't pay attention to long-term goals. You have short-term goals. You have long-term goals. You also want to live to be able to see yourself fulfill those long-term goals. And one of those things is that when you master your time efficiently, those long-term goals will just fall into place. As long as you are doing what you're supposed to do and taking the calculated steps to do your homework, go to work, work on yourself, handle self-care, do all it takes some time, do all of that stuff, you are able to master your life's time. Our lives are finite. They are finite. Whether you want to look at it as years, you want to look at it as months, hours, minutes, whatever. We have a finite lifespan to do everything that we've been given a purpose to do. And I am blessed to say that I am living out my purpose, because it's not that I'm 49 years old and I'm like, I think I'm gonna die next week. No, I lived in my 20s and 30s. I did. I lived. I lived. I went to school. I worked on degrees. I became a parent. I became a wife. I'm doing everything that I want to do. I got the degrees. I've started the career. I am now in that point of my life where everything that I sacrificed for and worked on and took calculated steps on in my 20s and 30s are allowing me to have the life that I want to have in my 40s and beyond. And that's all that people want. That's all that I want for you guys. That's all that your parents want, your friends, everybody. And if you have friends that don't understand this, then are they really your friend? If you have significant others that don't understand this, are they really your significant others? Don't allow somebody to tell you what you should be doing with your time. You maximize your own time. And people that care about you and truly support you and truly respect you and want to be part of your life will respect the fact that you respect your time. So master time management. The earlier that you do it in college, the better it would be for you. The less stressful you will be, the more in control of your life on that college campus you will be. Okay. So that's all I have for you guys today. Next week we have another topic. I think it's about mom and dad missing you. We miss you guys too when you go out to college, or it's either about mom and dad missing you, or it's going to be the supplies needed. I always forget, y'all. I schedule my presentations and everything, and then I write the stuff down, and I always forget what it's gonna be. But you know what? I can figure that out. Hold on. because I actually screenshot this the other day so I would not forget. Next week is going to be how to schedule your college. What is this? Anyway, I'll we'll find out next week on you guys. But it has been wonderful talking with you, and grateful. If you have nothing, if you do nothing else in life, manage your time. You can do everything that you possibly wish and want to do if you manage your time. I'm Dr. King. I want to say have a great rest of your day. If you're in Texas or wherever you are, stay out this heat. If you're somewhere where it's raining, I pray that the weather is not too bad for you. But enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good time. Bye bye.